All right. And first, let's start with obviously the speaker vote delayed your swearing in. What was that like for you? Obviously, it was a long week, but what was it like from your perspective?
Yeah, it was a long week, but I'm certainly glad that our conference united, and I'm encouraged by that we united around Speaker McCarthy. Sometimes family disagreements can be messy, and certainly that's part of our democracy. I'm glad that we had those discussions in public. The swearing in itself was very special for me. My family was able to be there. My daughter Claire took a picture of me being sworn in, just from behind, but it was a special moment that we got to capture a few minutes together on the floor during that, which was very historic. I mean, I am the first female to be elected to represent this district in Congress, so it was meaningful for me to have the family there, and it was a special moment to finally get that done.
And how old is your daughter?
I've got a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 13-year-old son.
Okay, two girls and a boy.
Yes, that's right.
And you said this is a historic moment to be the first female in this position. What do you hope that this shows, not only Southern Indiana, but any little girls watching you in this role?
Growing up, my dad was a dentist. He told me I could be anything I wanted to be, just not a dentist. He loved his patients, but he did not love the practice of dentistry. And I think that sense of service to others is something that I take to heart. But having been in this position, I just think it will help to show that, anyone can accomplish anything. We do have a very diverse group of new members, including the most diverse group of Republicans. And I'm certainly proud to be part of that class. And I'm ready to get to work on behalf of the American people and the district.
And of course, we want to know some of your priorities. What are some of the topics you're hoping to be involved in and to work on?
My top priority is making sure that Hoosiers have a seat at the table. To that end, I'm hoping to get on the Financial Services Committee. Rural banking is an issue that has been very critical over the last few years. We've seen a number of over-regulations of community banks and smaller banks and rural banking. I want to make sure that those branches remain robust and open for our constituents. And so that will be a top focus of mine should I get on the Financial Services Committee. Outside of that, I want to uphold our commitment to America on issues like cutting spending, reducing inflation, securing the border, making sure that we have a government that's accountable to the people, and putting parents back in charge of education.
And of course, you said, this is a historic moment for you and for your family. You are beginning this journey in the United States Capitol. What are you feeling as you get to work? You put your first votes in, I believe you said last night in the release,
Yes.
but things are getting going. What is it like?
It's very exciting. I'm certainly optimistic now that we are united as a conference and are going to be moving forward and moving these policy points that we have been campaigning on. Yesterday we had our first vote. It was to repeal the 87,000 IRS agents. That's certainly part of our restoring government efficiency. If I heard one thing on the campaign trail, it was we want a more efficient government, not a bigger government. So reducing the size and scope of government, dialing back those 87,000 IRS agents, which had been put in place and were a threat to middle-class families, to conservative groups, and just overall for accountability of the government and privacy for American families. So I'm proud of that vote. I think you'll see the upcoming calendar, the upcoming agenda that we have coming forward is going to be very, straight back to that commitment to America on all the issues that we campaigned on.
Perfect. And I just want to ask a kind of overarching, I know the Kentucky members I talked to were saying it's going to be really important to work across the aisle when you have different parties in charge of both chambers. What is your take on having to work with bipartisan efforts this session?
Sure. As a former state senator, working in, and we had super majorities in the state Senate in Indiana, but we still worked on issues that superseded partisanship. And I worked on a number of issues with my Democrat colleagues across the aisle. There are issues where we will be able to work together, and we should look for those opportunities. Having said that, the American people sent a Republican majority to accomplish certain things, and we will be focused on achieving those goals on behalf of our constituents, given the directive that we've been given by the voters.
And have you gotten used to your new office yet?
Still settling in. It's a little bit sparse behind me. We're still settling in, but we're certainly getting there day by day. I'm just excited to get to work and to have the opportunity. I thank the voters in the 9th District for sending me here to do this job. It's very humbling, and I will work hard every day to to uphold the directives that they've given to me.
Did you ever expect to be in the United States Capitol as a congresswoman? Was this a little girl dream? Was this as you got into the state legislature dream? How did that come to be?
You know, it wasn't something that I thought I would grow up to do. I really thought I would end up being behind the scenes politically. It was when I was an intern in the state Senate back when I was a senior at IU that I really got bitten by the bug to serve in this capacity and be part of the policymaking. But it wasn't until I worked for Dan Coates that I really wanted to be at the table. And so I'm happy to have that opportunity now. It's pretty surreal for me. It's a little bit of looking around and saying, how did I get here? But I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'll work hard every day to uphold the promise to the people.
Anything you'd like to add or think people should know?
I just am grateful for the opportunity, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me today and your interest in this for the 9th District.
Perfect. Let me stop. I muted myself instead of stop recording. Let me stop recording.